Today, Precarious plays
Metroid Prime 2 Echoes.
Well, what do we get from this?
The beating the game.
Oh.
The winning the game. You know, I say that, but I think in a more modern Metroid title, it probably would give you one last crazy beam upgrade that you would get to use just escaping from like this final chase, you know.
A dying moon, yeah. Oh, it's gotta get out fast, my favorite.
Oh yeah, but I mean, they give ya. Although I think I have to do the final fight under these conditions. You know what? I'm gonna try to do real quick.
Stock up.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I should probably have at least a little more. They actually, that's polite of them. I think they disable the save station, but they fill up your energy.
Oh yeah,
That seems
nice
like a fair trade. I think I have to do the actual final fight under that time limit.
Oh, that's less than an episode.
And if I bork it, I will have to do the Ing Emperor again. Off camera.
Yeah.
Should be clear.
Yeah. Yes. Oh.
But something feels off, says Samus. Oh, I actually, you know what? I think it would have been cooler if her hand hadn't been forced here.
Yeah.
Favorite
Why?
Dark Samus design.
Why is there a third eye?
Because it's Metroid Prime.
Okay.
It is Metroid Prime. Dark Samus, this Dark Samus is Metroid Prime.
Got it.
Hold on, so
This Samus is spooky as shit, is what the description text says.
she can vent Phazon energy. Exposure to Phazon has rendered her invisible to the Dark Visor. These new abilities combined with her already formidable... Okay, yeah. So, you might recall that in the final boss of the first Metroid Prime had a very similar palette and had like those Metroid-like nervous system and a big blue skull head. So I don't know if I showed you this. I'm sure that I showed you the scene, but I don't know if we got it just playing the game sort of casually for the show. Do you remember how Samus had a fourth suit upgrade, the Phazon suit, which turned her like jet black?
Yeah.
Black and red?
Yeah.
Remember how the final boss, like right before the big escape sequence, it grapples onto her and pulls that energy off, and she reverts to her gravity suit? That is this is the result of that. Metroid Prime uses its energy draining abilities to steal the Phazon suit, sort of schematic, wholesale, and this is the final form of that we see in this game anyway. Also, I like how you use your little toes.
Yeah, the little toes are funky. I also find it cute that all of the glowing parts of at the joints of the suit are connected to some sort of vascular system. Like making the mechanical biological, which is interesting to me.
Don't like what you're doing there. That's what I wanted. That's what you get in the you know what? This is actually very cool because I'm just now realizing that aha, okay. So I can use this visor to track her. The powers that Dark Samus is sort of showing off here, they sort of form the foundation for the powers you have in Corruption, the third one.
That's exciting.
So like that big, what they were saying in the logbook, where it's like, yeah, so Dark Samus actually has gotten too charged up, and she has to fire weapons to. She has to fire her weapons to bleed off energy. That is the exact system that you have to play under yourself with your hyper mode, I think it's called, in the third one.
Yeah, that's so cool.
And it's not something that I ever want to see happen whenever we play the third game. So I'm just gonna tell you about it now. If you mess up hyper mode and don't bleed off enough energy by attacking rapidly enough, or by like taking too much damage while you are in hyper mode, you get overloaded and you turn into a being very similar to this.
Spooky.
Yeah.
Them some side effects. Whoa.
Yeah, and it's a shame that like it's just like sort of an alternate, kind of hard to achieve game over scenario. I only knew about it after the fact. One of my friends told me, like, so this is what happens if you can get overloaded, and even then they did not find it for themselves. They saw it online, and then they shared it with me, and I watched it online. So that's how difficult it kind of is to mess up hyper mode. I'm kind of like running out of time. Does that attack do much?
I'm not seeing her. Oh, okay. Looks like you got her about
like
a third.
Yeah. Yeah, she spends a lot of time big and glowy here.
Is there a way to break the big and glowy?
Oh, well, there's another scan. Dark Samus 4. Target can generate shield, accept Phazon energy, draw an expelled Phazon for use as a weapon. Okay.
So you can pull the Phazon energy off of her? Is that what that makes?
I think you have to. That's what you have to do.
Okay.
You have to catch it with your charged beam.
Okay.
And I kind of understand why that was. Hold on, let me go ahead and scan her. Damn it. Okay, so I do have all of the Dark Samus scans, and I'm still 3 short on creatures. So I missed something over the course.
You missed some tunnel rat.
Yeah.
Or some fancy lichen.
Or it was, worst case scenario, it was probably one of like the alternate boss modes or forms, you know? So the big blasts I can't do anything with, but whenever she does that, I can catch them and then send them back. And that actually deals quite high damage.
Significant, yeah.
You want to pulse again? Because that would be Nito Burrito.
3, Kim Possible was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was a childhood favorite.
Yeah, I don't think I actually watched very much Kim Possible, but what I did watch, I liked. I just remember seeing so many of the promos on loop,
Yep.
And just had like a little flashback to the naked mole rat sidekick.
Rufus?
Yeah, Rufus.
Yeah.
It was my favorite character because I didn't decide to watch it enough to bond with any other characters, but usually Animal for me is immediate friend. Like, hey, little weird dude.
I liked Ron, and also Kim, and also Rufus, but mostly Kim. And not so much Rufus.
I liked Rufus the best, but that comes from an outside perspective. Because of course they're going to use the animal sidekick for the most promos for the kid show, right? I liked the gall of having a naked mole rat as the sidekick pet,
I think
that is a weird sidekick pet. Have you seen a naked mole rat?
Yes. I was disappointed because I saw Rufus first.
Yeah.
And it made me like Rufus less.
Yeah. They're pretty impressive though,
Why did you start talking about Kim Possible in the last
Because you said
3 minutes?
Nito Burrito and I had a flashback.
That's a Steven Universe-ism.
it's not just a Steven Universeism.
I don't remember Nito Burrito being... You know what? I take responsibility for this. I should not have brought it up. Let me go back and say something cooler. You want to pulse again? Because that would be something cooler. I just went back in time and said something cooler.
Okay. Welcome back.
That's a little sad.
Hey. Oof. Weird day at the job today.
I think I killed me?
But I was also trying to kill me, so... Had to kill me so I couldn't kill me.
Me and me fought, and I think it was a tie.
But also we lost? Yeah. I bet Samus has a fairly...
Screw attack.
I bet Samus has a fairly strong internal, like, dialogue with herself.
Yeah.
Or like a really strong journaling habit, because, like...
yeah, that's the logbook.
Okay. Yeah. She's gotta have some way to process all of this, you know? And it's not...
did anybody see my cool hero pose? I hope somebody saw my cool hero pose.
The legs saw.
That was a really cool hero pose!
Woo, you made it.
And that's the story of how Samus blew up an entire planet. But only like halvesies. It was like this sort of quantum planet that only exists when observed. And she observed it, and she blew it up. I came, I observed, I exploded. That's Samus's, that's like her.
Look at all of them.
Her motto.
Oh my goodness, I saw the sweetest holiday card. I will have to show you later. But there were moths involved. Cute moths.
Now it's time for probably my least favorite part of Metroid Prime 2.
Yeah?
I think, or maybe you have to get all the items or something for that. I like this. This feels very like quintessentially Samus. Mm-hmm. Does she do it, or am I misremembering? Maybe it's connected to all the items. No, here it goes. This is, I think, when Metroid Prime first uses the Zero suit, and I just don't think it's a great model. Like, I don't know if it's a model that's worth like a really close up like that.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, like, they had a huge advantage not having to show any familiar, like, non-alien characters, and then I don't know, like, I like it less than the version of Samus they had at the end of Metroid Prime.
Yeah. I'm with you on that one.
I'm not actually that big of a fan of... The only version of Zero Suit Samus I actually like is the original from Zero Mission, because she was a little more broad, and she was a little more fit, and she was a little more square-jawed. And then after that, really, I think starting with her Smash Bros. Appearance. I think that they immediately backtracked, and it's like, no, let's soften her up and make her a little more thin and sexy and wayfish. Less swole. Yeah, I think that's the word that I would describe to use Zero Suit Samus post Zero Mission is wayfish, and that just it's never fit, and it's always been kind of gross, because it's just like, guys, you already have Princess Peach, you don't, just, no, I'm not gonna ruin it. We just won. We just did the whole game, we beat it, and there will be other times. I can ruminate on Japan's seeming just not knowing what to do with the character when we play Metroid Prime 3. That's my solemn vow. I will spend at least 50% of the runtime of Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. This is my campaign speech now.
Yeah.
It's Metroid Prime 3 for 2023. That's my whole platform. And I will spend 50% of my time complaining about Nintendo's mishandling of Samus as a character. Yay! Woo! Woo! Yay!
That's all we want to talk about.
Yeah! You know, I feel like I have a problem with criticism. I feel like for me, and especially when I talk to you, and that's what this show is, right? Me talking to you. I feel like because you and I, we went to college together, we were trained in the same way, and I feel like we both have this sense of like, the good stuff you don't really need to comment on.
Yeah.
Because it's sort of evident, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to say that I like how they have this grid, this sort of staticky background screen that maintains continuity from like the in-game menus to the credits.
Yeah.
Because it's just sort of like, well, yeah, of course, it was a good idea and it was executed well, and we all that's obvious, so we can just move on and talk about some other stuff instead, right? And I feel like that's why I focus so much on the negatives, and I think it makes it sound like, I think if I were to listen back to everything that I had ever said on the show and assigned it like a positive or a negative, a positivity or a negativity score, it would wind up being profoundly skewed towards negativity.
Yeah, well, and that comes from, it seems like criticism, the way that we do it, is geared towards making improvements. And the thing is that if you're going to be efficient about it, you don't need to comment on the things that don't need improved.
Right, yeah.
Because if you commented on everything that didn't need improved, then you'd just be saying like, oh, that's a nice font. Oh, I like this spacing on that. Oh, I like the weight of that. Oh, this is a nice color. Oh, and then you would just never get to anything that you would want to do anything about, you know? Yeah. But of course, we wouldn't get to the end of the credits if we didn't like this game. Like, we wouldn't play it. Have we ever played anything on the show that we just really didn't like? Probably.
There's probably been at least one game, if not... I mean, by the time we finished it, we did not like Magic Pendule very much.
But
except I love our post box boy.
Yes, we had some good times.
Sweet post box boy. I don't remember their name right now, but post it, right? It was post
it, yeah. I just I don't know. I think that there are a lot of games that we have broken up with during this show, but like we wouldn't engage with them if they weren't at least interesting.
Yeah.
Because like for me, Tides of Numenera, it was a very short relationship.
I will say that in my mind, it sort of feels to me like we don't like follow trends, right?
Yeah,
we're not playing like the popular thing.
Yeah.
The new hot thing. To me, it's sort of like if we didn't like it or find it interesting, you have to at least clear that bar to get in the door with us.
We don't play things because we hate them.
Yeah. Not that I can think of.
Yeah.
Well, Transistor. But I wanted...
But you didn't hate it. You just didn't understand.
I did. I tried to play it cool when we started it and while we were playing it. And I think by the giant worm boss on the roof, I think that my true feelings really showed. Until I got to the final boss and the New Game Plus of Transistor, the game part of the video game counts as like 80% of the final grade when you come to the Brasma School of Design.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not like playing Transistor. I loved the visual design. I love the protagonist. I love the way it sounds. but I did not like playing Transistor until New Game Plus, you know, and that's an issue. But that's the only one I can think of off of the top of my head. I think everything that we've played, it was in good faith. It was like, no, this is worth our time, and we're gonna play it. Anything else you want to say before we finish Subnautica, I guess, maybe? Or we just retreat straight into Metroid Prime 3. I mean,
I would really love to see how the foreshadowing in this game carries over to Metroid Prime 3.
I would really like to compare and contrast how different...
it's fresh.
Well, how different Metroid Prime 3 is compared to Subnautica, and that could take weeks.
I really don't want to play Subnautica, but they updated it. It's supposed to have fixed some scary... What do you know?
It's just, yes, we'll be able to take refuge in our big base room. They updated Subnautica, so we'll be nice and safe in our big 4x2 base space.
You can procrastinate in a larger room.